Hello, what's up? What's up? Welcome to episode 3, No Names, Just Vibes podcast. I'm Mike.
Janaya.
We happy to be back. You know what? We go jump right into what we were just talking about because it's very compelling in my opinion. We go jump right into that. So we were talking about a conversation I had with my cousin, right? And I was talking about how he's was at the time, a couple years ago, was newly into something. Like a spiritual journey, like a church thing, a religious thing. I won't necessarily get into what it was specifically, but he was online on Instagram, making videos and sharing them, standing outside talking to people. And in one of his videos, he was talking about how women shouldn't preach, or women are not supposed to preach. And I remember I asked him about it. I'm like, bro, I never heard nothing like that before. That's kind of crazy. Because my mom, my dad's a pastor, my mom's an evangelist. My mom been preaching pretty much my whole life. I'm 32. And I'm like, so you get to preach, you just learned about this, and you get to preach. But my mom, who's been studying this all of my adult life, all of her adult life essentially, she don't get to preach, and you do just because she's a woman. So then, so you want to say what you said, or you want me to say it? Okay. So then Janae goes, well, maybe he was talking about being a leader. Maybe he was saying women shouldn't lead, and I was like, well, I don't agree with that either. What do you mean, women shouldn't lead the household, or just be leaders in general? And you were saying you don't think women should lead.
No.
What?
Okay, in the aspect of, I think women can have our own jobs and stuff like that. Sure, whatever. But absolutely, you're not leading a house.
Okay.
Heck no.
Why?
Because the man is a leader. I'm not leading anyone. You think a woman should lead you?
I don't want to say lead me, but I think a woman can lead. And when I say lead, I mean in any capacity. I think, and this could be controversial, whatever though. I think a man, the man should be the last say in the house. But that doesn't mean a woman can't.
Then that's the leader.
Not necessarily though.
But it's the last say. If the woman can have the last say, then she's the leader. Whoever says no, this is it, that's the leader.
I guess, but I mean I think it can go both ways. If I come up with something and I take it to wifey and I'm like, yo, let's do this, and she said yeah, then we gonna rock. But just because I brought it to her and she said yeah, that don't mean she led, or vice versa.
No, but you guys came together on an agreement, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's different. Okay, let me ask you this.
Okay.
Do you think a woman should be president?
Why not?
Oh my gosh.
Why
Women are
not?
insane. I'm sorry. We are emotionally unstable. I will tell you I want to kill somebody today, and then I'll be like, oh my gosh, I don't want to kill you.
Men are kind of like that too, though.
No, you guys are more stable. Women are literally emotionally unstable. I can say that. Well, I'm not that emotionally unstable, but I'm way more emotionally unstable than a man. Men are calming.
So you think if Hillary Clinton or Kamala Harris or anybody, and I'm not in love with either one of them, so those are just the first two names that came to mind. But any woman, Michelle Obama, let's say Michelle Obama's running the country. You think instead of her thinking rationally in any situation, you think she's going to get her emotions wrapped up in the decision? Or you think she's going to put that to the side and think rationally?
Women are emotional.
That don't mean y'all bring y'all emotion into everything that you do.
Yes, I do.
That's you. That's you. That's not every woman, though.
That's every woman, because that's how we are. Literally, that's how we are.
Okay. I was a preschool teacher for 5 years. Every program director, every preschool director and every site supervisor
was a woman. Because we're nurturers. Of course we're going to be over that's being a mom.
But you're leading adults though. You're not leading the kids.
But but your number one goal is the children. So you're going to have the children's best aspects.
Okay, but
I look at that as a nurturing thing.
Cool, but what if we're talking about pay? What if we're talking about sick leave? What if we're talking about taking breaks? What if we're talking about things that have nothing to do with the kids? And I've been led.
What do you mean?
Preschool, a woman is gonna 1,000% be more nurturing than a man. I'll give you that 1,000%. But what I'm saying is, what if we're talking about employees, where like that female director is only talking about things that concern her employees, not the kids, not things that go on within the classroom. Like I said, what if we're talking about how much paid sick leave you get, or how long your break should be, or how much your yearly pay increase should be, all of that stuff. That doesn't have anything to do with the kids.
No.
And I've been a teacher and had the leadership role be a woman, and they did just fine. There's some that maybe I don't like, but that's not because she's not a good leader, it's just because I don't really like her. She talks too much, or she's kind of annoying, or whatever. But that don't have nothing. Not she talks too much because she's a woman. There's men that talk too much. Actually, I think I talk too much most of the time. But I just threw that out there. I could not like that woman in leadership for things that have nothing to do with her leadership. It's just me and her like personalities don't really mesh. Yeah. But she's a good leader.
I mean, with that, I mean they are more understanding. I get it. Like the only doctors that I have are women because I'm a woman. Like they know what they're talking about. So yeah, in different aspects, yes. Like a woman could be a doctor, a woman could do this. But I feel like as in leading, a woman cannot lead like that. Like as in like just talking about like should a woman lead or a man lead? Like if you were due to do what's not a woman.
Wow.
Absolutely not.
Wow, I would not have thought that. I would not say.
Really?
So you're not. No, I wouldn't expect you to say that. You're not. So you're not. You don't subscribe to women can do anything. A woman can do anything a man can do.
No. Are you kidding me? I cannot do everything a man can do.
And I'm not necessarily talking about physical things, because a dude, like a woman is 9 times out of 10, she's not gonna call all her homegirls to help her move, like to come carry the couch and move the fridge and all that. I'm not talking.
Can't do it.
I'm not talking about physical things, and I don't even think a man should expect a woman to do. Like, okay, perfect example. When I'm at work, all season for KUSI Prep Picks and Report this year, I was paired up with Allison Edmonds, a woman, a female field reporter, or I'm not exactly sure what her title is, but she's dope at what she does. I'm talking about like physical things is what I'm getting at here. When we have to move around and get interviews and move the camera, and the camera is her responsibility. She goes and picks it up from the station. It's her job to make sure everything functions right, make sure it gets moved. She's supposed to be the one touching it. But the camera's big, and it's on a big heavy tripod, and then there's just a pole with a microphone on it. And because the camera's her responsibility, she'll go and grab it and move it. But I'll be like, no, let me carry that.
Because you're the man.
And you carry the microphone. Yeah. So things like that, I'm not saying a woman should be able to physically necessarily do everything a man could do, but like mentally or like psychologically, absolutely.
It's two totally different worlds.
Absolutely. And that's why I separated them. But I absolutely do think a woman can do everything a man can do. Absolutely. Heck no. I think y'all women are just, I mean,
I'm not saying that we're weak. We are weaker than a man, you know. We're more emotional. Like, it's totally two different worlds.
That's true, but like,
yes, we go together, but no.
I'm an emotional dude. I've been in leadership before.
But you're still a man.
But
so you know how to control yourself.
Women know how to control themselves. You go get in so much trouble when this come out. Women know how to control themselves too.
Look, I've seen some crazy people. Okay, like flat out, you got issues. A man would never do the things that some women would do. Like, did you see when I posted the girl, like she slashed the boy's tie? A man is not doing that. That's emotionally unstable. Like, that's out of control. You're psychotic.
But I don't think just because a woman would do those things, I don't think she would bring that I don't know if emotional baggage is the word, or she would bring that. I don't think she would bring that much emotion into her job. Just like how you said it's two separate things. I think it's the same thing. Like if I'm like, everybody can compartmentalize. Like if I'm upset about something, whether my kids piss me off, or I got passed up for a job I should have got, or an interview got canceled and I'm tight about it, or I just lost a loved one, I'm fully able to be in my feelings, have a cry, be emotional, and whatever, and then still go into work and perform my job. And I think a woman can do that too. I've seen women do it. I think a woman can do that too. You're absolutely right when you say women are more emotional. I'm not gonna go as far as to say unstable, but women are definitely.
Not
You're a
all of
woman. You can
us.
say it. You can say
Not
it.
all of us, but there are some that I've seen.
Absolutely.
Where it's like, oh my gosh, only a woman would do something like a man would never do that.
So let me ask you this then. I love that we bumped into this topic. Let me ask you this then. So say like we've never seen Michelle Obama out of pocket. Not one time. Every time you see her,
we've never seen her, but we're not married to her.
And that's my point though. You think it all the time.
A lot of people could do that.
And that's my point, Janaya. That's what I'm saying. So all the time that we've seen Michelle Obama, she's been like the perfect example of a woman, right? And all of the time we've seen her, she's been upset at her kids. She's like, her kids have been online like smoking and stuff. She's upset about that. I'm pretty sure her and Barack got into it about something.
Smoking a cigarette.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, and all like the amazingness that we've seen her in, she's gone through things emotionally, maybe even the same day that we saw her on TV. But just because she was emotional in her personal life didn't mean she was emotional in the White House or she was emotional when it came to make a decision. People can compartmentalize.
Yeah, but I still don't think women should be leaders.
That's crazy.
Well, I should really say a woman should definitely not be president.
Yeah,
Because that's where I take it to. Like, as far as, because you know how I said, like, a woman can be a doctor. Because I think that's more on the nurturing aspect. A woman can have a job. Like, if I were to have if I made clothes, I can run my own business. But when it came down to, like, making certain decisions, I would ask a man. I definitely would. Because it's more, you guys are just more like...
Rational?
Yeah. I don't even know if that's a word. But, it's, you guys just are calm and, like, look at the situation for what it is and not, like, emotional, not from the emotional aspects.
I feel it. I just know for me, though, I bring a lot of my decisions to the women in my life. Like, to the men too, but I like to go to the women too.
Yeah,
to have a clear perspective.
But to see that side of it. But you would still sit there and think, you know what I mean? Because you're a man, you're going to be like, okay, that was insane what she said. Okay, that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, as women, we're just like, we just need to calm down.
Oh, I can't wait to have this conversation on Instagram. This is gonna be the first thing I clip out and post on Instagram. That's
not all women are psychotic. I just want to say that. We're not all crazy.
Look, you're coming to clean up.
Not crazy. Don't threaten my life.
That's funny. I'm glad we bumped into that topic. I did not expect you to have that perspective. That literally happened. Like, we were sitting here going over what we was going to talk about, and then I seen something. One of the cousin that I spoke about, I seen him online, and I just shared the story with Janaya, and that's how we got into that. We did not plan to talk about that. I'm glad we did, though. But
also with you talking about how your mom, she's a minister, but your father is a minister. She's not just like randomly, you know what I mean?
There are women that are, though. There's female pastors that aren't married. There's female pastors that are not married.
That are not married,
leading a church and are not married.
I'm sorry, but I wouldn't go to that church.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Why? Because I don't know. Like, I'm sorry.
Wow.
Like, it's not that their word isn't valid or what they're saying, but I don't know. I just.
So what if
like, you're leading a church?
So what if you had a makeup line or a clothing line, or you selling hair, whatever?
That's
different.
different.
But I'm saying though, if we're talking about leadership, okay, what if you have a clothing line, and a woman, anybody wants to come and work for you, and let's say your business is completely like staffed by women, like owned, operated, and staffed by women. and somebody came and was like, "Oh no, I didn't know the women in here. I'm out. I can't work here." Like, what does that look like?
I feel you. We need some men around here.
You are crazy. That's funny. Let's get into some of this other stuff. That is funny. What we got? So I wanted to talk about. I gotta get some WD-40 for this chair. I wanted to talk about insecurities and what insecurities cause people to do. Yeah, right? Because I personally, you know what? I always do that. I always bring up a topic and jump into how I'm doing with it. I'm not going to ask you on air what your insecurities are, but do you find yourself like dealing with your insecurities like on a consistent basis, or do you find like your insecurities like showing themselves like
insecurities? What is that? No,
so, I was about to say, check you out.
I'm not really insecure like that. I just feel like there's levels to your life where it's like, yeah, maybe like when you're younger you're more insecure about stuff, but like once you get older, like, this is it. Mm-hmm. Take it.
Mm-hmm. I feel it. I don't really I can't really say I'm really insecure about much. Everybody knows I'm a pretty confident guy. Like I think I'm pretty cool. I think I'm handsome. I think I dress well. You know what I'm saying? I like my own smile. You know what I'm saying? I'm a confident guy. So I can't really say I have like many, and not even just I said a bunch of physical stuff. Even like
it's really mental.
Right, but exactly. But even like at this point, like I speak for a living, and I stutter all the time. Like I mispronounce things. I'll be edited back. Like, dang, like you learn how to talk. All you do is talk. Learn how to speak, nigga.
I don't see that about you.
I appreciate that. Thank you for looking past that. But like, when I'll tell myself like that there's things I need to get better at, but I don't necessarily. I'm not really like insecure about things. I do suffer from imposter syndrome sometimes. So do you know what that is?
No.
Imposter syndrome is when like you feel like, well, first, you know what
imposter syndrome?
Yeah, you know what an imposter is, right?
What is that?
So you know what an imposter is, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like feeling like you're not I don't want to, it's not good enough, what the words I'm looking for, but feeling like you're not, like feeling like an imposter, like you're not the real deal at what you do. Like, and and it's crazy like when you'll feel that way, right? Because like,
I've never felt that way.
Like I told you, like I used to, like I was in plays and stuff, right? And when the first play I got in, like I'm acting next to people like, and I'm in first grade and I'm acting next to like 4th and 5th graders who've been acting like literally since preschool. Like they came to this school because this is what they do. And I just happen to live in this neighborhood while I go here, you know what I mean? And so like I remember like being in plays and like feeling like, dang, like I saw him in 2 plays last year. This nigga be doing his thing. I'm kind of like, I don't know. So I suffer from that, but I can't really say it's insecure. Like, oh, okay, I was at the Drew League. If you know basketball, you know what the Drew League is out in LA. And I watched the Drew League for years. Like, I watched my favorite basketball players there. And then when I became a cameraman, I started following who I thought were like the dopest cameramen and like camera people. I don't want to say cameraman, the dopest camera people, because there's a lot of dope women that do stuff too. Not for real. There's a lot of women that's what's her name? Her name is The Real J Widow on Instagram. She's super dope. Female camera person. But anyway, I'll be following all these dope camera people, and then I can't really say I met them. See, there was a stutter right there. Can't really say I met them. A couple of them I have, but I recognize them from Instagram, and now I'm right next to them on the baseline, like filming these high-profile basketball players. And I'll be standing there like thinking like, I don't really know.
I made it.
When I first walked in the Drew League, that's how I felt. And it's not like you ain't gotta get on no crazy list or pay no crazy money or do nothing. You really just gotta come and be good at what you do.
Yeah.
So it's not like you gotta like meet some crazy requirements. But when I first got to like walk in the gym, it's like, yeah, nigga, I'm here. Like I'm at the Drew League. Like I'm lit. And then, but I got there early because I didn't want to wait in no line. I didn't want to have to fight through the crowd and fight for a spot on the baseline. So I'm there like 9 in the morning when the game ain't really no NBA players, no really like big name players on the court yet. But then like as the games keep going, like James Harden come in, the Ball brothers come in, and like Giannis Antetokounmpo come in, and I'm like, yo, this is dope. And then those high profile players brings in the higher profile camera people. And so I'm right there, and like I said, I'm right next to these people that's like 20,000, 40,000 followers. They got contracts with Ballers Life. They got contracts with all of these media companies that everybody know. And I'm here just little old Michael Flicks doing my own thing. You know what I'm saying? And so like being there, I feel like, and just being 100% honest, I know like I wasn't at that point as talented as they were with shooting or with editing. So I'd be there like, I don't really know if I belong. Like I remember like thinking that to myself, like I don't really know, like these niggas is here, I don't really know if I belong on the baseline with these dudes. But then like I'll ask somebody like, yo, let me make a video for you. I'll meet somebody that's like really high profile and they really like what I do. And so that'll kind of like validate me like for myself. Like, you know what, you was tripping. Like you belong here just like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So to get back to what we was talking about, insecurities, I can't really say like I'm insecure about much, but I definitely like suffer from imposter syndrome from time to time. But the reason I wanted to bring up insecurities is because I feel like, and this will lead us into our next topic, I feel like people's insecurities cause them to hate on other people. I think...
Yeah, absolutely. If you're insecure with yourself, then you definitely hating on everybody. And you don't even like yourself.
Exactly. And then see, for me, like, I did the opposite. Like, I felt a way, and I'm just like, these people are dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't make me want to bring somebody else down. It made me just want to up my game. But I've been getting hated on recently by a couple people here in town. I'm going to be careful. A couple people here in town, and I think it really just has to do with the fact that we do the same thing, and I'm out here busting moves, and you kind of just doing the same thing you've been doing for a while. And when you met me, I was below you, and to your credit, you, I don't want to say help. I'm gonna just be real. He was trying to help me, but he was trying to like have me be like his little bro. Like,
oh, like you'll never be above me.
Yeah, giving me little nuggets here and there. And not that I really needed it. If you're gonna give me some advice, I'm gonna always listen. I wasn't going asking for anything. But he started like doing little things. And at first I'm like, oh, this dude is pretty cool. But then I noticed like the way he would speak to me when other people are around, he wouldn't speak like that when it was just me and him.
Really?
Yeah, like I see, I'm always doing this, trying not to like give too much information or being vague. But like, so like, look, we'd be by ourselves, and he would tell me like, oh yeah, you doing this, and now you gotta work on this or whatever. And it would be like more of like a helpful hand, is how he worded it, and like the vibe that he was giving off while he was offering this. But then when the other people come around, he would word it and say it in a way to where like almost like I work for him, or like he taught me everything, or he knows everything and he's schooling me. You know what I'm saying? And when I saw that at first, I thought I was bugging, so I was like, I'm gonna create some distance, but let me just make sure I'm not tripping before I really jump out the window. But then come to find out, like, nah, dude is a full-blown hater. And he's been a hater from day one, but I just am always...
Why was he helping you?
Because we were working in the same place, and and he wanted me to relieve some. He was getting contracts with different people, different entities, and when he couldn't make it to something, he would ask me if I could cover it for him. And it was that type of a relationship, and I'm cool with that because at the time I really didn't have too much going on. I'd have a couple kids hit me up like, yo, could you come take some pictures? Could you come film for me? But at the time, I really didn't have much going on. And so I'm trying to, network. I'm trying to build my name out here. I'm trying to just create content. And so wherever he asked me to go, I would go. But then it got to a point where it was like, and in fairness to him, technically I was working for him because he had the contract. He couldn't make it. And so he was going to pay me to go cover for him. Anytime somebody's working for you, paying you, you're working for them.
Yeah.
So technically I was working for him, but he was making it something that it wasn't. Like, it's like, bro, like I'm working for you, but I don't work for you, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And he would like, anyway, that was why I wanted to talk about insecurities, because I feel like I've noticed people, I've noticed as I've gotten older that when people are insecure about things, that they try to pull others down and they try to hate, and because misery loves company. And me, I'm naive. I've always been naive to things like that because I've never done it, and I've never really experienced it. And to be honest, when people would say like, "Oh, I got haters," or this and that, I'd be like, everybody says they got haters. Like, okay, like whatever. But nah, like as you get older, you see like, nah, like it's really people out here that don't want you to win. They want you to shine as long as you're not shining more than they are.
Sad.
And I feel like when you trying to, but it's room out here for everybody.
Exactly.
Like you know how many people do podcasts? You know how many people got an internet radio show? Mm-hmm. You know how many cameramen there are? Like, and I'm just naming the stuff that I do. Mm-hmm. It's a bunch of people doing the stuff that I do, but you got to carve out a lane for yourself and make what you do dope. Like, just because somebody else is doing something similar to you, don't mean you got to get all in your feelings about it and try to block their shine.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that was anyway. This podcast is me turning into me coming here just venting about stuff. But no, I thought you'd have a little bit more to say. But yeah, I've just noticed that, and even like people, and he's not like a friend of mine or necessarily in my personal life like that, but I've definitely noticed that, and even people that are like closer to me, dare I say family, that like they get insecure, like they feel away when they see you shining without them. And I think it comes from insecurity.
They feel away when they see you shining without them.
I think it comes from insecurity.
I mean, everybody's annoying when they are like in that, oh my gosh, competition. No, just do you.
Exactly.
And live your life.
Exactly.
Leave me alone. If you ain't popping, you ain't popping. Don't be mad because I'm popping.
And just go get popping. It's not hard. It's not hard. If you ain't got it, then you ain't got it.
That's
true too. But and this person that I'm talking about, he probably think he got it. Like you
can't if you mad. If you can't.
I think you can have it and be a hater too. I think you can. I think you can.
No, but yeah, because you see that he's popping. He doesn't see that he's popping.
I think he sees that he's popping and thinks that he's popping, but he wants to be the only one popping. That's what I think. But it's like fam, like we don't even do the same things. Like we don't shoot content the same way.
I mean, you guys are two different people. Everybody needs to stop being in competition with everybody. Like literally, everyone is their own individual. Do what you do, like what you like.
Facts.
Live your life.
I think competition is good, but healthy competition though. Like for me, I see cameramen like post something and then instantly make me like, all right, I gotta go find a game to film so I could make something better.
But that's inspiring you. That's
exactly.
not competition.
I look at it as competition because I look at it like
you didn't come up with that idea first?
No, but like I say competition because I'll look at something and be like, I need to make something doper than that. But not to make you look bad, and I'm never even gonna speak on you. And you're not the person that made something that inspired me to go create. You're never even gonna know that what you did is making me out here going hard. I just use it as my own motivation. Like I'll see you do something, and even like I got one of my homies. Shout out to my guy Raw Jules, one of the dopest young cameramen out here. I see him create, and I'm like, yo, I need to try to be better than that. And I literally. Props to you, bro. Like I almost never make anything better than him because he's just that dope, and I'm not too insecure. I'm not too insecure to be like, nah, this nigga's better than me. But I see the things that he does, and it makes me want to go work. It makes me want to go perfect my craft and get on his level and try to be better than him, but not to take opportunities away from him. Not so I can tell people like, oh, I'm better than this nigga or nothing like that. Just because I think you're at the top. And I want to be at the top, and so that's why I'm aiming. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily for your spot, but you're at the top, and I want to be at the top too. And you can't take any one spot when there's room out here for everybody. That's how I see it.
Yeah. I just look at it as I'm living my life. I make cool stuff. Whatever comes to my mind that I love, that I think is super dope, then I'm gonna do it. I just don't look at other people. Like, I'll get inspired by people like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Like, and then I'll think of something else. Like, it'll inspire something else,
right.
but maybe not the same. But yeah, I just want to better myself. I just don't look at other people like that.
I don't.
It literally would give me a mind. Like, it would literally hurt my mind.
And like on the one hand, like especially if you come from athletics and you come from sports, you're gonna be competitive. But,
that's a sport.
Yeah, but you can't necessarily carry that same type of competitive edge into everything you do. Like, if you playing basketball, right, and a new kid joins the team that plays your position, you finna bust his ass in practice so he can't take your spot. But he's on your team, and so you're
I'm not doing that.
No. I don't know what sports you was playing. Whatever sport I was playing, especially when you play Pop Warner, because the kid could join the team late. You see a kid coming, like when I was playing running back. New kid joined the team, little white boy named Anthony Heil. Dude was dope. And to be honest, he was a little bit faster than me. But he wasn't a better running back than me. But when a coach sees that speed, he's like, nah, I need the ball in his hands. Told him, like, yo, let me get this rep. As soon as my offense was done, I went to defense, and I'm lighting his ass up every chance I get. So the coach, that he's not better than Mike. You know what I'm saying? But you can't carry that into like the world like that, like just trying to knock people down just because.
Yeah.
Like that's different. Like you gotta, like I said, you gotta be competitive. You gotta see other people and be like, oh, you know what? Okay, the competition should turn into motivation. It shouldn't be. I never look at a cameraman and be like, I'm gonna make something dope so nobody wants to book him, or I'm gonna make something dope so he can't get opportunities, or so people look at him like he's whack. Like, no, I'm gonna make something dope so people book me, so people think I'm dope. I'm thinking about me. I'll see your content and be inspired by it, but when I'm out here moving and shaking, I'm thinking about me and my kids and like the money that I could make and the opportunities and the relationships that I could build. I don't ever think about trying to knock somebody down or try to take somebody's spot or make it where somebody else can't eat. That's just hating. That's just flat out hating. And I ain't got nothing in common with a hater. Nothing. I don't understand like what even puts that. I was about to say what puts that inside of somebody, but it's just being insecure. It's just being insecure and not understanding that there's room out here for everybody.
Literally. No, it sounds stressful to me. I don't want any part of it.
You ain't got no haters, nothing.
I don't have any haters.
Look at all these haters.
I don't have any haters over here.
I
don't have any haters that I know of.
Right.
But I hope I don't. I mean, that's sad.
It almost makes me feel, I don't feel bad for this nigga trying to take money out of my pocket, but it almost makes me like sympathetic. It almost makes me like sympathetic to insecure people. If it.
Well, it's sad. It's sad that you
the
don't
fact
feel
that
good enough.
That's sad. Like, I don't even enjoy spending time around people that aren't confident. I don't. It makes me feel awkward. It
drains you.
Not even necessarily drains me, but it makes me want to cheer them up, and I ain't got the time or the energy for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can ask my brother Stefan. I don't like being around people who aren't confident. Like, if you go come kick it with me and you're not confident, you gonna have to pretend like you are. Or I'm serious. Or we gonna have to take you to the mall and get you something to make you feel good or something. Like,
That's from the inside.
I don't like. I mean, sometimes it starts on the outside too. You never know. But I cannot. And it sounds like really insensitive and really like, nigga, who are you? But I don't like spending time around people who aren't confident. I don't.
No, it's draining.
And it just you can't even fully have fun. You can't even fully get into the things that you want to get into.
No, because they're over there being Eeyore.
Yeah. Because it's like, bro, like, snap out of that fog and come have some fun.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I'll, like, try to cheer you up, but when you just ain't getting it, it's kind of like, I just don't want to hang around. It's mean to say, but I don't want to hang around you. Like,
it's a fact.
You're pulling me down, and I'm not about to be pulled down. Like, I'm trying to be happy at all times.
Exactly. And I'm not so much as like other people, but I kind of, I don't want to say like absorb other people's emotions, but I'm very I tend to think I have like very high like emotional intelligence. I believe I do. I can be in a room and like sense or almost feel that somebody's not.
It's that energy.
Yeah.
It's their spirit, really.
And I don't, and like I said, it makes me want to help, and I ain't got the time for that. Like, I'm here to have a good time. I'm not here to cheer you up. You know what I'm saying? And I know that those things almost like don't even go together. It's like you don't like insecure people, but you want to cheer them up. Like, how does that even go together? That's really how I feel. And it's just, it's too much. It's like, I nigga, smile. Like, smile. Like, just like have some fun. Like, life is too short for you to be walking around worried about what you don't have or what you can't do or the opportunities you're not getting. Like, we all fall into that. We all fall into worrying about things that we necessarily can't control, or like being down about things or whatever. But to live like that constantly, hell nah. Like, that takes too much energy.
It does. Have you ever been depressed before?
I believe so.
Why do you say I believe so?
Because I try to be sensitive to people that really suffer from depression. I believe don't do that. I believe we all go through like small bouts of depression. I believe everyone does. So yes, I have gone through like my own little bouts of depression. And even some.
So it wasn't major; it was just little. And
that's what I was about to say. I think one or two times, like it was like some real depression. Cause I remember I called myself like, "Bro, when the last time you ate? You haven't ate in a couple days?" Like, yeah. Like, so I've dealt with it before, but not like on like a super like deep level. And I'm not making fun of anyone. I'm just clarifying. Like,
It's not making fun.
No. But I'm saying that to say what I was gonna say next. Like, I've never had thoughts about like hurting myself or harming myself. I've never had those thoughts. But I've definitely had times when like I'm in my feelings, or I'm in a fog and I don't want to go outside. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to go nowhere. If I can't write about it, or if I can't go play basketball to get it out, I don't want to do nothing. So I've definitely been there, and like I said, I had to catch myself like, bro, go eat something. You ain't ate in a couple days. So I've definitely dealt with like my own little bouts of depression, but not nothing major. Why do you ask though?
Oh, because we were talking about, sorry, I don't remember.
So have you dealt with depression?
Yes, oh my gosh. I got my little heart broken, okay?
Yeah?
I was literally depressed for like 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it was a long-term relationship then?
No, it wasn't.
No? Wow.
I mean, like, we were together for like a year, but oh my gosh, I really loved him.
How long ago was this?
In 2016 or whatever.
Okay, that's when it ended, or that's when like the depression started, or what?
That's when I got my heart broken.
Hey, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yes.
I think everybody, especially men, I think everybody should have their heart broken at a certain point in their life. I do think it should happen to everybody.
Recommended.
I think it should happen to everybody though.
I agree with you because it did change my life.
Mm-hmm.
But oh my gosh.
Why? So what happened with that? You want to get into that a little bit? What happened with that?
I do not want to get into that.
I mean, we're talking about depression and all that. You brought it up.
I mean, well, yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm just a private person, so like, I don't want to talk about that.
Oh, we gonna open you up on this podcast. It ain't, we are. It ain't gonna be just being here spilling all my business. We're gonna make it happen. And granted, we put this out, and anybody who goes on YouTube and listens to Spotify will be able to hear it. But I think that again, that's why I enjoy doing podcasts so much. I talk all day and night anyway. I enjoy having this. This is a conversation we'd have even if there were no cameras and microphones here. But part of why I like podcasting is because, like I said, you kind of like, for me anyway, I kind of like arrive at my thoughts and feelings like right here on the mic and on the cameras, and I think that's dope. I've always been like a pretty transparent and pretty open person, and so
Really?
I like, oh yeah, and I enjoy. There's certain things that like my relationship, like I don't. Nope. We could be about to fall off a cliff, and you're gonna think we are riding on cloud nine. Like I don't talk about my relationship. Never.
See?
That's certain things, but that's not. Why are you saying C? Why you say that?
Because like that was my relationship. I don't want to talk. I know it's over and everything, but I don't want to talk about it. I just don't like it. Just makes me feel like you're trying to touch me. Well, I don't want to be touched.
I feel it. I feel it. Sounds like it's somewhat of still an open wound.
No, it's not actually.
Okay.
But it was just a very traumatic time for me in my life. But yeah, oh my gosh, I just don't want to talk about it.
You should share it one day though, because it can help somebody. Moving on. But yeah, that's yeah. Like my relationship and my finances. Never discuss that. Never. I might tell you like, yo, I got a dope job opportunity, but you're never gonna know the dollar amount or like the equity amount or anything. That like, nah. That's tacky, in my opinion, to talk about that type of stuff.
I guess I'm not an open book. I just don't tell people my business, like at all.
I feel it.
I don't even want you to know who I have a crush on. Like,
wow.
no, oh my gosh, no. It just
interesting.
You know why that's really crazy that I'm on a podcast, because I really don't share any of my information.
What'd you say?
I said it's crazy that I'm on a podcast because I really don't share any of my information.
We're gonna find a way to
maybe
get you to
I
share
really
more.
feel like I'm a little spy or something.
I enjoy it. I like sharing and just talking like.
Really?
Like I don't. No, I'm not judging you or saying that you should, but I just don't. For me, I was like, why not? Like what's it gonna hurt? You know what I mean?
This is uncomfortable.
I like being uncomfortable.
I am. You do?
Yeah.
Well, I do not.
I like being uncomfortable.
I do not.
I don't like those feelings of being uncomfortable. So I look for those not those feelings. I look for situations that can make me uncomfortable so I can conquer it and not be uncomfortable anymore. I enjoy that. And I've always been that way. Like I told you when I first auditioned for the play, I wanted to be in a play, but I was like, well, there's no way I'm gonna go on that stage and recite a monologue or a poem in front of all of these people that I don't know. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to be in a play, and I didn't like being uncomfortable, so I went and did it. You know what I'm saying? Same thing like with anything I do. I'd rather attack it and not have to be afraid of it or not have to be uncomfortable with it anymore, rather than just sit back and fear it and never go near it.
I feel you on that. But why wouldn't you discuss your relationship then?
Because it's nobody's business.
Except in mine. That's how I feel.
That's what I'm saying. But I mean, anything your business is never anybody else's business. I 100% rock with that. But I just don't like. I don't like getting into my relationship because, well, like I said, it's nobody's business. And then also, you could say things in the moment that you do truly feel in the moment, and you could share it with a loved one or with somebody, and you in love, so you're gonna get over it and you're gonna be back rocking. But you just told somebody that you love what your loved one or what your significant other did to you, and now they not liking them no more.
Yeah, I don't do
you know
that.
What I'm saying?
See?
Or just like my parents raised me. What happens in this house stays in this house. Like that's just how I've always been. You know what I'm saying? Like now if I come in here and I want to share something like about like one of my kids or something, or even if I want to share something about my relationship, that's cool. But I'm never gonna get deep into like what's going on. Like you and I, if we talk off camera, like yeah, cool. But and that's even still a maybe. But like definitely not like on a podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like that's nah.
See, that's how I feel.
But sometimes I won't say that. I won't say that. But yeah, I enjoy sharing. That's probably my favorite thing to do is to share. I love, like, if I had it my way, I'd say twice a month, me and a bunch of people that enjoy talking, that enjoy sharing, would either like get an Airbnb or go to somebody's house and get some drinks, play Taboo, play what's that game right there? Culture Cards. That game is dope. I gotta show you that. Taboo or Culture Cards. Play a game like that. Have some drinks and then just talk, just share. That's like my favorite thing to do. That's like my favorite thing to do. Oh, I love it. Favorite thing to do. Actually, you know what? We used to.
Go with everybody?
Yeah, why not?
I only tell my personal business to my best friend, and that's it.
That makes sense. That is it. I feel it. I just don't. I don't mind it. Like I used to. We never really gave it a name, but when some of my homegirls, they used to go to Cal State, and they lived in one of the townhouses over there, like right by campus. We used to play a game where we give everybody a pen and like a few strips of paper, and everybody just write a random question, throw it in the hat, shake
That's
the hat up, but it'll be like,
have you ever?
Yeah,
I'll play those games.
But it would lead into a conversation about that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel like that's less stressful for me, and I can handle that.
So you're okay with talking? You just don't want to sit down and be like, okay, this is what's going on with me.
Yeah, don't be my therapist. Like, don't examine everything I've done.
I feel it.
But if it's in a calming, relaxing environment, right? Everyone's sharing. It's not just me.
Right.
Then I'm good with that.
And that's how I am too. I like to. And you know what? I find myself, and actually, when a lot of times I'm editing a podcast, I find that I do it a lot too. Which a lot of people think is annoying, but I'm just trying to like be relatable and have something in common. Somebody will bring something up that's going on with them, and I'll have a similar situation. I'll be like, oh, this is what's going on with me. And they didn't even really fully get a chance to finish talking about what they was talking about. Now I'm over here talking about me. You know what I'm saying? Because I just enjoy sharing, and I feel like it helps. I do. I genuinely feel like that. I feel like it helps.
It does help. It is a form of therapy to talk and yada yada yada, but it's uncomfortable.
I like it. I like being uncomfortable. I don't like being afraid. I don't look at that as being afraid. Mm-hmm. I look at it as get out of my life. I feel it. Protecting what's sacred. I get it.
But even because I'll even not share stupid things. Mm-hmm. I just don't like talking to everybody.
That's fair.
Like I'll have we can have a deep conversation, and I'll talk to you. We can have a deep one, but then I think it's the relationship, like you said. I think that's no.
I don't recommend anybody do that. Like you definitely need somebody, dare I say, of the opposite sex that you can talk to.
Exactly.
Even when you're in a relationship. You gotta be careful.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Are you for real?
Yeah. How you gonna what if you don't, I don't have any sisters.
That's too bad. No. You better not. Like for me, don't ever.
But you can know the person too.
No. Why are you talking to somebody else? Talk to me. We got a problem. Talk to me. Don't go and talk to me.
That ain't healthy, man. That's not healthy.
That is healthy. You talking to me? I'm not emotionally.
Is it you afraid you're gonna get cheated on, or what is it?
No, but talk to me. You have a problem with me, so talk to me.
But what if I've been talking to you and we've been in this house beefing for 5 months?
See, I'm not that type of person.
You can say that.
No, I'm not. If you're sitting here telling me, hey, yo, like this, I got a problem with this. Yeah, I'm gonna try and change it. Yeah, excuse me, I'm not gonna try. I am gonna change it if I can. But if I'm gonna sit there and tell you know what, I have a real problem with that. So like, give me time. You know, whatever it is, you have to give me like a specific thing.
like I'm forgetful, right? I forget everything.
Oh my gosh, everything. That is so annoying. I can't.
There you go.
I don't think you're forgetful.
What?
No.
I would lose my head if it wasn't attached. I lose everything.
Really?
Everything. I lose everything.
You hide it very well because you seem like you're on the ball.
Well, thank you. I'm extremely forgetful and I lose everything. Right? And wifey could tell me like, yo, like, I just told you to make that appointment. I just told you to go do that. Like, what are you doing? And I'ma still forget. And now if she got a homie or somebody like that she talked to, like, this nigga be forgetting everything. Like, what is it? What is it with men that y'all always forgetting shit? Like,
I mean that, yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
that's a regular conversation.
But I think it could be deeper things too.
You better not talk about nothing deep about me. Are you? That is, to me, that's like, disrespectful. You don't cross lines. You don't want, like, if you're in a relationship, you wouldn't want another, like, say you get a boyfriend, you wouldn't want to be able to, like, talk to me about, like, why do men do this? Like, no, I'm gonna talk to him.
That's fine. I'm gonna talk to that. I'm gonna do that. And I'm not. Now,
if it's like, for me, if it's like you trying to talk to your cousin or somebody, I mean, you can have friends. I'm not saying like you can't have any, like, that's psychotic. Like, yeah, you can have friends, but don't talk about me, like deep stuff, like she doing this or whatever.
And again, I don't do that. Like I told you, I don't share my relationship with anybody. But definitely, like, I think it's healthy. Like, you gotta
unhealthy.
You gotta be careful, and it can be, but you definitely gotta be careful. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to, do anything you're not supposed to do. You gotta be careful, but I think it's healthy. I think it helps.
The only thing
you have to know your partner. You 100% have to know your partner for sure before you are okay with something like that.
Okay, with something like what? Talking to somebody else about y'all's problems?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, if you knew your partner, you would be talking to your partner. You know what? I'm just private.
I feel you. And there's nothing wrong with it.
You can have your homies. Y'all can talk about whatever, but like, I'm over here. Just keep this right here, and that's that.
I feel it.
The only thing, because I hang out with a lot of guys. Like, literally, I only have one girlfriend, my best friend, not her. I mean, I have girlfriends, but I don't really hang out with them that much because, we're older. But yeah, I hang out with a lot of guys. I do not sit around and tell them, okay, I did tell one of them, we're real close though, that I had a crush. He ain't gonna tell nobody, but I told him, like, oh my gosh, I met this person, but that was it. Like, I'm not going into full, like, that's all you're gonna hear from me. That's it. You're not gonna get any follow-up. You're just gonna know I have a crush and that's it.
You're not gonna say who the crush is on?
No.
I'm saying, talking to your friend, you wouldn't tell him who you have a crush on?
Who I have a crush on?
Yeah,
you wouldn't know him.
Okay, let's say
no. If he did know him, I'm not saying a thing. Like, no. I'm just kind of weird with my crushes because crushes are just so like cute and private and sweet and precious to me. Where I just hold it in this little like, oh gosh.
Okay. Dang, I had a question. I forgot it right quick. This is a huge pivot, but it just came to mind right now. What are your thoughts on... Okay, I'm gonna just ask it straight up. Now, I'm not saying at the same time, like actively at the same time.
Okay.
But would you be cool with sharing a sexual partner with one of your homegirls?
What?
So that's a no.
That's an absolute no. Don't ever look at my man. Don't touch my man.
Not your boyfriend.
I'm not... If I'm doing that with you, I like you. Like,
I'm not saying at the same time. I'm saying if you know your homegirl had a thing with a dude and it's been over years now. No. I agree.
Because but then you looking at my man. That's my man. No.
But I'm saying, what if it's not your man? What if it was never your man? So you've only had sex with just boyfriends.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Okay, well, hey, not everybody's like that. Not everybody's like that. When I was single, I had sex with people that wasn't my girlfriend.
There has to be an emotional connection.
There should be.
But you know what? Celibacy is key, you guys. Don't do that.
Don't be preaching if you're living it. I'm not saying you're not. I didn't mean no disrespect at all.
See, even this conversation, I'm like, Oh my gosh.
I can tell. That's why I'm like trying to tread lightly here. But not. Where did this conversation? Why was I thinking about this?
Oh, I was gonna ask you. Can I ask you this question?
Absolutely.
Okay. So if you're talking to somebody. Have you ever talked to? Are you loyal when you're talking to people, or do you talk to like? Well, back in the day, was you talking to different people?
I'm talking to different people. If you're not my girlfriend, yeah,
we're talking.
Okay.
Don't you like them?
Yeah.
So why are you talking to other people?
Because I don't have a girlfriend.
Like everybody?
No, but I might like somebody else. What do you mean?
But you like this person.
Yeah.
And you're talking to this person.
Yeah.
So why are you talking to somebody else?
Because I might like somebody else.
How do you like somebody else? You like this person.
You think that's the only cool person in the world?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Nah.
Hey, when I have a crush, like, you're it, like, oh my gosh.
I was firm.
Step back, because he's popping.
I was always firm in that. You don't give...
Are you serious?
You don't give boyfriend and girlfriend treatment to somebody that is not your boyfriend.
I can't help it.
You don't do that. And,
I cannot help it if I like you. Like
that's fair. And women like you are dope in that regard, because it's like I like you and we rocking and you just trying to do it all. You trying to cook, you trying to come kick it. You
wait a minute.
Okay, not all of that. But I'm saying but you do that for your man though, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm saying, like, if we talking, so you're not cooking unless it's your man.
I mean, if you ask me to make you something,
and that's what I'm saying.
If you're my crush, I got you.
And that's what I'm saying. But that again, that can be deemed as like boyfriend, like you giving him girlfriend treatment.
Yeah, because that's what I want. So that's where we're gonna go.
I feel it, but nah, I didn't do that.
Really?
Nah.
So no loyalty from talking.
No.
So how long?
But also, before you keep going, I was always 1,000% upfront and honest. Like, yo, like we rocking, this is cool, but I also talk to a couple other people too. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to fall back from me, I 100% understand. But until you're my girl, I'm not gonna be just exclusive to you.
That's the number one turn off for me.
Really?
Yeah. You're talking to who? But you're talking to me. You ain't talking to me no more.
You really think everybody should only talk to one person at a time?
Yes, I do. I absolutely do.
That's not even logical.
It is logical.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Okay, well, if you're talking to me, you ain't talking to nobody else. Like, no.
Nah.
Absolutely not.
You should start when you feel like... I was about to say, when you feel like it's about to take that step, you should start trying to dead other things. But I don't even think you necessarily have to do that. I don't even think you have to do that. Like, you don't have to... You should... because it makes it easier for yourself and for everybody, but I don't think you have to until you're exclusive with somebody. Again, you should be honest with everybody. I think the worst thing you can do to somebody is take away their ability to make a choice. That's the worst thing you can do to somebody in any situation, is take away their ability to make a choice. And so I'm gonna make it where you have your choice. I'm not exclusive to you. I talk to you and maybe 2, maybe 3 other people. And if you're not cool with that, then that's fine.
Absolutely not. That's just the number one turn off for me.
How when I'm being honest?
How? Because you're disrespecting me.
Oh, come on. That's not disrespect.
I'm it, okay? Like, hello, do you not see that? Like, what are you talking about?
I feel like I'm it too.
We have a connection. Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. And that's exactly what I'm saying. You know that I'm it. I know that you're it. So why are we playing? Why are you talking to other people? If you have a connection with somebody, like, talk to that person. How do you have all these connections with everybody?
I'm not saying all these connections with everybody. That's not fair.
That's hoe activity.
No, it's not. No, it's not. That's not fair. I've never been a hoe, and that's how I used to operate. So check this out.
But clearly you didn't like the girls as much. Like, they would... Clearly, to me, is what you're saying. I don't like none of y'all like that.
Nope.
Are you serious?
That ain't
so
it.
how are you talking all these people, but you like one of them the most,
Probably.
then talk to that girl. Why
But
you
just
talking
because
to
I like her the most don't mean it's time for her to be my girlfriend.
It is because you like her the most.
Just because I like you more than the other people, I still gotta figure some things out.
What's
I don't
there to
know.
figure out?
I don't know what your family's like. I don't know where you. I don't know what you come from.
It's not even we talking. Then it's the girlfriend. Then I meet your family and
No,
stuff.
I need to know that stuff before you're my girlfriend. I need to know what kind of home you come from. I need to know like what your values are. I need to know if you plan on getting married and having kids or not. I need to know, are you
Well,
celibate?
yeah, that's
Like,
in the talking stage.
but okay. If I'm talking to somebody, if I'm talking to somebody and I go out playing some pool and I meet you and I think like, yo, this girl is super pretty. Man, this chick is chill. And I can't get to know you because I'm already talking to somebody? What if we got this super bomb connection? What if you're the person that I'm supposed to be with, but I'm already talking to somebody? Like, you could miss out on the love of your life. No.
You gotta switch up.
No.
If you really feel that in depth with your feelings about somebody, if I was like, oh my gosh, like I was liking him, but this person, like
What if I think both of y'all are dope?
What?
And I need to figure out, it's real, that's realistic though. I could think both of
Not
y'all.
in my mind, it's not. Like, kid.
I could think both of you guys are dope. Excuse me. I could think both of you guys are dope, but I don't know which one of you I'm more compatible with. And I don't know which one of you, when it come down to it, is really gonna ride for me. Like, just because it's cool
You're not
right
even
now.
riding for me now.
Because you're not my girl. Because you're not my girl.
No, see, that's why I need loyalty from the jump. Like,
And that
I'm
is loyalty.
sorry.
That
No,
is
it's not. 'Cause
loyalty.
you're talking to somebody else. You're absolutely disrespecting my name.
Disloyalty would be me telling you that I only talk to you and still talking to them. But if I'm upfront and honest and I tell you this is how I'm giving it up, you have a choice. You have a choice.
Oh, loyalty is you talking to me and that's it.
That's not
like,
true.
you don't see nobody else. You
That's
just see
not
me, baby.
I don't think you owe loyalty to somebody that's not yours. I don't.
But if I like you,
and I like you too, but you're not my girl
I'm
yet.
trying to get with you.
And that's fair. That's fair, but I would not.
So you think it's okay for everybody to be talking to everybody?
If you're single, yeah. And you're honest, yes.
I can't. See, this is why I need to go back to 1980. Okay? Because
Niggas back then was giving it up like that too. Nigga died 70 years old. You find out he got a whole family across town. Now that's disloyal. That's
they were
disloyal.
singing sweet songs to their girls. They loved one girl.
You ain't heard these stories about these old niggas dying and they whole other family, these kids that
I'm
never
talking about
met
real
each other.
ones. I'm talking about the real ones. Those are hoes. There's hoes in every generation. I'm talking about real ones that ride for their girl. I only talk to one girl at a time.
Nah.
I need my man to ride out for me.
All of that loyalty could be an illusion, just like I said.
It's not an illusion for me. It's that's real life.
I promise you, there's hundreds of women that knew this was the best thing since sliced bread. This nigga would never hurt me. He'd never cheat. He's the most loyal guy I ever met. That's why I married him. And then he died, and you meet his wife that he's been married to just as long as he's been married to you. And he got kids. He got kids around the same age as the kids he had with you. But you thought this nigga was loyal. Meanwhile, it's a nigga like me over here. Who told you exactly what I'm doing, and I'm not finna be exclusive until we on that level. But you want the nigga that's gonna off top make you his woman and not talk to nobody else. But he might be doing stuff over there.
No, but you're doing stuff over there, so you're not loyal. I'm legit. I need loyalty.
But what I'm saying is, anybody could tell you anything. I think it should be.
But no,
on
I'm
the
talking
person
about
and how
you.
you vibe with them.
I'm talking about for real. Like you're a loyal person, not like you fake loyal.
I think I'm a very loyal person.
Loyal.
I think I'm a very loyal person. But just because I'm not loyal to you when you're not my girl don't mean I'm not a loyal person. You can't meet none of my niggas nowhere that tell me I'm not loyal. Yeah, I'm not. No, I'm not being exclusive or I'm not being exclusive unless you're my girl. I'm not doing it. Can't do it. I think everybody should operate that way. But be upfront though. But you gotta be upfront. And if you're talking to multiple people, you have to tell them that you're talking to multiple people.
Okay, but if you're trying to deal with me, you better not talk to nobody else.
And that's fine. And that's a rule you have.
It's not even a rule. It's like, I'm disgusted by you after that. No, I'm very serious. I'm disgusted by you.
How is that disgusting?
Because hello, like you're trying to talk to me, and then you want to talk to somebody else. I'm disgusted by you. You're disrespecting me.
Even if I told you though?
Yeah, I want you to keep it honest. I want you to be honest with me at all times.
But then, so how are you?
But I can't tell you that I'm not like that's disgusting. Honestly.
So you say that up front, like when you're talking to a dude, do you ask him or do you tell him like I don't want you to talk to nobody when you're here? Do you ask him like how does that
go? I don't ask those questions because you may be talking to somebody else. I don't know. Mm-hmm. That's literally, you may be talking to somebody else. Mm-hmm. But if I really like you, I'm not going to sit up here and be like, you know, if you're talking to other girls, you can't talk. I'm not going to say that. But if you come out and say, you know what, I talked to this person, I'm automatically like, ugh.
I can't say that I'm coming out and telling you like, hey, yo, just so you know. But I wouldn't hide anything. Like I wouldn't be okay if we on a date, like we on like say we sitting here and we on a date and we chopping it up talking about whatever, right? And my phone go off and I pull it out, you ask me who it is, I'm gonna tell you who it is.
Oh my gosh, that's a bold move. I would never do that. I would never be like, who's that? No.
I feel like everybody, and again, I'm not saying you lack confidence, but I feel like everybody should just be confident.
I don't think that's lacking confidence at all. I think that's the ultimate confidence. I'm the best, and you're disrespecting me by talking to somebody else.
But then, with that logic, I could say, I think I'm the best, and I'm not all the way sure about you yet, so I could
You're disrespecting me.
Nah.
You just said I'm not all the way confident, or you don't think I'm the best.
That was why no, I didn't mean any disrespect by that. I should have.
No.
But no, I feel like, and what I didn't say everybody should. I think. See, now you got to make sure I don't offend you. I think when you have, I guess you can't really tie it to confidence because that's just how you feel. You don't want somebody talking to you talking to other people. But I feel like, and I didn't care like if a girl was talking to other people.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, because you didn't like them that much.
I did.
How? But they're talking to somebody else.
How can I make you be exclusive if I haven't given you a reason to be exclusive?
What's the reason to be exclusive?
Telling you I want you to be mine. That's the reason.
No, but like, what would make that happen? We have a connection. We laugh. We have fun. We like vibe together. What more do you need?
But what if we could be vibing, we could have a connection, but what if I've never seen you in certain situations to know how cool and how chill you are. I haven't seen you in a room with me and a bunch of other women to see if you're gonna be like side-eyeing these chicks and be like, why this bitch getting so close to my man and all this and that. Maybe everything is so peachy, I've never pissed you off to see how you behave when you're pissed off.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That goes back to how, different women are, some men too are unemotionally, what's the word? Emotionally
unstable.
There you go. Mm-hmm. I know that I would never do any of these things. Mm-hmm. That's why I hold myself at a higher level, because I know that I'm not out here doing nothing crazy. Like, I just want to have fun. Like, if the connection is cool, yeah, I like you. You're it. Like, I'm into hello. It's easy breezy around here. Like, I'm not doing all that extra stuff. I'm not side-eyeing nobody. Like, I'm not mad if you have a whole bunch of girls that are your friends. For real. Mm-hmm. I have no problem with that.
Now, don't get me wrong. That operating that way, I don't want to say has gotten me in trouble, but it's definitely had led to. So what are we doing here? Like, I could tell you like me. Like, how come I'm not your girlfriend yet? Like, what are we doing here? I've definitely had to have those types of conversations, but I'd rather.
See, I don't even have those types.
Have that conversation. Oh, plenty of
That
times.
is so awkward.
Oh, plenty of times. And that's
I'll
fair.
just stop talking to you.
And
Like,
I feel
if
like,
I have to do
come
that,
on.
because
Come
you're,
on.
as a man, you're the leader. Like, come on, get with it. Hello, I'm right here. Like, clearly, I like you. You like me too. That's
Just
the
because
move.
just because we like each other don't mean we supposed to start dating or even start dating right now.
Okay, but we could be exclusive, right?
That's dating. That's dating. Heck no. Heck no. That's like if I'm talking to somebody else and this sounds really vain. I'm talking to somebody else and you got better conversation or you do doper stuff. Mm-hmm. Why would it be wrong for me to go and do that dope stuff or have that dope conversation with you as well?
As well.
Or what
you
if,
just said I had a doper conversation.
What if I
do cooler stuff. Hello.
But that don't okay. What if I'm not gonna get you to budge on this. I'm not gonna get you to budge on this. I might as well just give up. I'm loving the conversations we bumped into today. We might move this to the top of the podcast, honestly. This was dope. This was dope. I'm gonna have to. What else? You know what? Well, I was about to say, what else I want to pick your brain about? We had an hour and 15. I'll save it for next week. This was fun. Oh, I'm loving this podcast so much, man. This is fun.
I have to say one more thing.
Okay.
I just feel that you're not my man if you don't look at me and be like, oh my gosh, she's amazing. She's hot. From jump.
From jump.
Yeah. Like, you should look at me like, oh my gosh.
How would I know how amazing you are before I get to know you?
I mean, it's a vibe, you know?
That's true, but to fully know how dope somebody is, you gotta have some conversations.
That's true. Okay, but I just cannot. Yeah, no, I can't.
It's definitely the physical that brings us in. Like you see somebody, I could think physically like, yo. But that don't mean like you're supposed to be mine just because I think you hella fine.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you do have to have a deep connection.
Yeah.
I just don't understand how you would have deep connections with everybody. I don't get that aspect.
Not everybody, but
Well, you're talking to everybody.
not everybody.
Well, you're talking to everybody.
I said you and maybe 2 or 3 other people.
That's everybody.
No. And I may, and how I was doing it, if I'm talking to like 3 people, 4 people, I'm probably gonna have a deep connection with, a really deep connection with one, something that maybe could be something with another, and the other 2 we just kind of having fun.
What is the point?
Living life. So all these people on the planet, you think you're supposed to only talk to one person at a time?
You don't. So are you looking for a girlfriend, or are you just looking for for fun? Who are you?
I wasn't looking for a girlfriend.
Well, that's why.
I was.
So you're talking to everybody.
I was open to it happening, and to be fair, I would, while I'm with you. Mm-hmm. And this is why it'll be like, so what are we doing here? Like, I know you like me. Mm-hmm. While I'm with you, it's gonna feel like I'm your boyfriend, just because that's how I am. Like I'm opening, I'm opening the door. You know, I'm holding the door. I'm pulling out your chair. I'm walking around and opening your door at the car. I'm paying. I'm a really sweet dude. I'm gonna tell you how pretty you are. I'm gonna tell you how much I like you. It's gonna feel like I'm your man when I'm with you, and I'm not doing that to try to trick you. That's just who I am, I'm not even doing those things to make you be like, oh, this nigga's dope. That's just what I've experienced. People like girls like, well, I mean, you already treat me like I'm your girl, and I'll be like, well, I am, but that's just who I am. You know what I'm saying? So while we're together, it's 1,000. It's gonna feel like you're my girlfriend. It's gonna feel like I'm your man, but. And it would get me in trouble because said girl would know when I'm with somebody else, she's getting that same treatment. And that's when jealousy comes in. Logical jealousy, but if I'm not your man, then you that jealousy can only go but so far. And honestly, I feel like everybody should operate that way. I feel like everybody should operate that way. You
say I'm out.
Okay.
And we talk. And you talking to somebody else, and we never had the conversation that you talk to somebody else, but you're an open person, it just didn't come up. So if I see you out with her, What do you think's gonna happen?
Nothing physical should happen, absolutely not. But it
Oh,
definitely be
no.
like, so what's going on? And I'm gonna tell you, like,
So you think it would be appropriate for somebody to come up, for that girl to come up to you and say, what's going on?
do I think it would be inappropriate?
Appropriate.
It would be appropriate. If you feel compelled to come and ask that conversation right now, then cool, let's have the conversation right now. Me, I wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't do
If
that.
I'm talking to a girl and I see her out with the next nigga,
I mean, cause
I'ma just
you're
charge
a
it.
man.
I'm gonna just charge it to the game. But
What do you mean? What do you mean? You're just gonna charge it to the game?
I'm gonna charge it as we're not together. That's the game.
But
she's not.
But you would still talk to her?
Yeah.
Nah, you ain't talking to me after that. I ain't gonna say nothing.
If you feel like
I'm gonna act like nothing happened, but I seen you.
if you feel like right now is the time to have that conversation of what I'm doing here with her, then then let's do it. Then if that's what you want, then let's do it. But
you would never hear from me again. Unless you hit me up. I was like, you know what?
if I hit you up, okay, you see me out with the next chick, and then you just ghost me. It's just it. And I hit you. Are you gonna hit back, or you just?
I mean, what you gonna say?
I'm gonna say what's up when we go. Let's go catch a movie. Let's go get some food.
I'm good, love, enjoy.
And then I'm like, but why? What happened? And he was like, I saw you out with so and so.
No, I'm not gonna say nothing. Cause you know what you did.
Nah.
So we not about to play this little game.
Nah, I know what I did. No, hell
was
nah. Hell
was
nah.
out over there.
Nah.
So clearly you're not my man. I just feel like my man would never do that. Like,
You're right. I'm not your man. We ain't made it like that yet.
exactly. So you gotta go.
Cool. That's exactly what I say. Cool. No matter how, with all due respect, no matter how pretty I think you are, no matter how dope I think you are, how amazing your conversation is, if that's how you giving it up in that situation, I promise you, all I'm gonna reply is cool. C-O-O.
But I wouldn't say
And that's the
anything.
end of it.
But yeah, that would be a turn off for me for sure.
What do you mean you wouldn't say anything? Okay, so like I said,
I literally wouldn't say anything. I would not hit you up after, like, I wouldn't be like, so you out with da-da-da. No.
But that's what I said. So when
I'm gonna see you.
so when I reach out to you, you're not gonna reply.
I'll reply, but what we talking about?
Let's get into your notes, man. Let's get into your notes, man. What you got in that notepad over there?
See my little notes. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is more serious, guys.
Okay.
Okay, did you see where they had the plot to kidnap the Michigan mayor?
I did see that.
Because they wanted the COVID restrictions taken off?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
They
People crazy out here, man. People crazy.
They're insane.
On the one hand, I get it. People are like, I'm grown. If I'm gonna get the virus, I'm gonna get it. Let me go out and do what I want to do. But when it's killing all of these people, you gotta be safe. You gotta be
But is
safe.
it really killing all these people? Because in China, I watched the video. People was dropping dead in the streets. I'm not saying people aren't getting sick or anything like that. COVID isn't a new thing. It's literally been around. It's for a while now. There are things that you can take naturally, guys. Elderberry. Sea moss.
Coach, what's up?
Take CBD for that body pain. And some ginger tea. Like, I just feel like God gave us remedies for everything.
I
So
1000% agree.
plants, use them. But I'm not getting the vaccine.
At all?
No.
I think
I'm
I
totally
love the
against
face you
it.
make when you say no. I love it. I love it. You be like, so like, absolutely not. I might next year. It's too soon right now. I might next
Why would
year.
you get it?
Because I think eventually it's gonna be where like we all have to. Like, if you
No,
wanna,
you're not forcing me to do anything.
well, then you're not gonna be able to fly. You're not gonna be able to go to no basketball.
No,
like,
what's
no
going to happen
events.
is all the people like me that don't want the vaccine, they're going to give us a private island. And we'll live on it.
You live in a fantasy world.
That's
That
what
is
they
not
no,
about
you
to
don't.
happen.
You don't want us here.
That's
we
not about
don't
to
have the vaccine.
That's not about to
then
happen.
give us a
They
private
ain't about to give
island.
y'all nothing.
Oh, we
they
are.
They gonna say you get this vaccine or you gonna have to stay home. That's what they gonna say.
No, I'm not. Please. But it's really. But speaking, because you are a Christian,
Yeah.
so why would you get the vaccine as a Christian?
I don't think one has to do with the other.
Oh my, no.
So you don't think any Christian should ever take medicine?
Medicine that the hospitals give you?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't believe in that.
Aspirin, nothing.
Nope.
You don't take anything.
No.
Okay, well,
All natural.
At least you're consistent. But I don't think it makes you a bad Christian if you take medicine.
No, not medicine. I'm talking about the vaccine.
Yeah.
Did you know that in the vaccines, I guess it's supposed to change your RNA to mRNA, and it's supposed to like change your cells, so it overrides it. So like you have a different type of DNA.
I'm not rocking with none of that.
Well, you are if you're getting the vaccine.
I'm not sure I'm gonna get it.
I hope you do.
I'm not ruling it out. I'm not saying I absolutely would never.
I would never.
I definitely need to make sure that everything is on the up and up. I don't.
So you trust the hospital?
I don't, and that's exactly what I was about to say. I don't trust the government. I don't trust medicine, if that's what I'm thinking of right now. I just
pharmaceutical.
There you go. I'm skeptical about everything, and so nah. I'm not saying I would never take the vaccine, but I'm not in a rush to do it. Nah, not at all. Not at all. I'd rather wear a mask all the time than take the vaccine.
I'm not wearing a mask, and I'm not getting the vaccine.
I'm coming at it when most people have been vaccinated and they're like, cool, take the mask off. I'm taking my mask off, but I don't know if I'm gonna get the vaccine. I don't know. I'm not shutting it down like I would never, like you're saying, but I just don't know. I might not. It's right now. It's way more of a might not. Probably won't, but I might. I gotta take this. Hello? I'm not. Keisha is though.
Oh, okay. I tried to text her. She didn't.
I don't know. She might be asleep. Yeah, that's fine. You might have to knock on the door, ring the bell. But yeah, she's there. Oh, no problem. Bye.
So do you take the flu virus or vaccine?
No.
Have you though?
No, I think as a kid, like when you had to go to school, but not since I've been of age and can make that decision for myself. No.
Yep, I stopped doing it because every time I got it, I would get super, super sick.
But I said that's what it's supposed to do, but that doesn't make any sense to me. Like they're supposed to give you a little dose of it so your body can fight it. But I'm like, or I could just go out here and eat healthy and live healthy and keep my hands and face clean and take my chances at not getting it at all rather than you putting something in my body.
But even if you do get it, it's not, well, there are some older people that aren't, like if they get the flu, you may take them out. But I'm talking about like healthy people. Yeah, no, like you're going to be able to fight off that.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I do not believe in pharmaceuticals at all. It's a money-making business.
Oh, 1,000%.
So you already
1,000%. For me, what really what changed it for me was I'd never forget it. I remember I was telling my brother this when I tore my ACL. I'm taking all of these meds for the pain, making me high as hell. I'm sitting on the couch watching TV like, yo, like I'm high as hell right now. Not gonna lie, part of me enjoyed it a little bit. But then the other part of me was like, yo, like it's different. Like you smoke some weed and that high is one thing, but like the high off of that was like at first it felt like that, but then after a while it's like, and maybe because I'm really small, I don't know, maybe that's why it affected me differently. But I was like, I don't like this. But anyway, when I tore my ACL, I remember telling my brother this story. The thing that changed it, speaking about like not wanting to take and trust pharmaceuticals, I never forget. I was sitting in my social studies class in 7th grade. And my teacher, Mr. Hernandez, super cool Mexican dude. Mr. Hernandez was telling us how back in the day, like they didn't have no medicine. When they got sick, they ate something, or everything that they needed was here. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And I remember thinking like, well, I mean, all of that stuff is still around.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like I don't, and also when I tore my ACL, you have to like when you tear your ACL, it gets super swollen, and before you get surgery, you have to let the swelling naturally go down so they can operate. And so it was a few months. Like it took a few months for the swelling to go down because I tore something in there.
Yeah.
But after those few months and the swelling went down, it was just a straight line, but I could run full speed with no pain. I was fine. I was fine. And I'm pretty sure.
You didn't get your surgery.
And I hadn't had surgery yet.
Why'd you get surgery?
Granted, I hadn't got back on the basketball court and tried to like slide on defense and cut and change directions. It was just straight line.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I was too scared to try anything because that's a lot of pain. I was too scared to try anything else. But I remember I was thinking like, my knee probably would have fully healed on its own.
Yeah, our bodies regenerate themselves.
Like I probably wouldn't have been able to run as fast as I used to, or maybe jump as high as I used to, but I would have been able to engage in physical activity pain-free. It just would have took a while.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I thought that it made me go back to what I thought that in my social studies class. I'm like, dang, like niggas probably tore ACLs back in the day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they didn't have no surgery. They didn't have a nigga that can slice your knee open and fix it. You know what I'm saying? So they had to just heal how it healed. So, but yeah, I don't trust the government and I don't trust pharmaceuticals now.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, we agreed on something today. I was wondering how long it was going to take, because you know what, when I was editing episode 1 and 2, I was thinking like, I was all excited to do a podcast with a woman, and we haven't really had like any topics like that, to where it's like we gonna be at odds about something, or a man could think this, or a woman could think this. And funny enough, though, the first time it happens, you the one thinking women shouldn't do stuff, and I'm the one like, no, a woman could do that. That's cool. I like that. I like that. This podcast is, I'm not saying it every week, this podcast is gonna be a lot of fun. Well, that's all we got for y'all today.
But I hope it came out how I wanted it to come out about the women part. We can run businesses. Just don't think we should be leaders in like a presidential. Absolutely not. Heck no. Absolutely not.
We're going again. This has been episode 3 of the No Names Just Vibes podcast. I'm Mike.
Janaya.
We appreciate y'all rocking with us, man. We'll be back next week. Peace.